I'm Cynthia Aguirre, and these are your headlines for North Texas. We begin with the problem creating a backlog for ICE detainees in Texas. There are thousands being held in the state, but not enough judges to hear the cases. It's leading to long waits in detention centers and questions left unanswered. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez spoke with attorneys to show just how deep the impact goes.
You may not notice them, but planes like this one are landing regularly at Love Field. They are ICE flights carrying detainees in federal custody. WFAA recently captured footage of one. Immigration attorneys say it's all part of a growing deportation system.
Rebecca, what we're seeing is a mass deportation machine that is really impacting Texans by a disproportionate number.
According to TRACK, a nonpartisan research group that analyzes ICE data, there are more than 68,000 detainees across the U.S. Nearly 19,000 of them are here in Texas.
We're not seeing raids in Texas, but we are seeing a focus on driving while undocumented violations. And that's what nabbed up poor Omar.
He's talking about Omar Salazar. He's an SMU graduate who was brought to the U.S. by his parents when he was 11 years old. In September, he was pulled over by Lubbock police for an illegal lane change. The officer called ICE, and he's been at the Blue Bonnet detention facility since then.
Omar, I would say, is one of the best that our country has to offer. And what we're seeing right now is that our best are being detained for 7 months.
Omar is married to a U.S. citizen, owns an artificial intelligence company, and has no criminal history. According to ICE's own data, about 75% of people currently in detention have no criminal record.
So many people are wondering, gosh, if they can deport Omar, they can deport anyone.
ICE says its mission is to enforce federal immigration laws and protect public safety and national security, and that people in the country without legal status can still be subject to detention and removal under the law. But immigration attorneys say with so many people in detention, the courts are getting more backlogged. According to the Executive Office for Immigration Review, across Texas, there are about 400,000 pending cases, with only about 100 judges statewide.
The courts and the judges have just not been able to get through the cases as quickly as the people who are being detained.
In 7 months, Omar Salazar has had 3 different judges hear his case. His final hearing was in February, and still there hasn't been a ruling. So he sits in detention, wondering if he will stay in this country he grew up in or deported to Mexico.
We believe the judges are overworked, and we're not suggesting that they're not doing their jobs. They're just dealing with an unprecedented number of detentions and their non-detained docket also.
Planes keep landing, cases keep piling up, and people like Omar remain trapped in a system struggling to keep up. In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
A new rule took effect Tuesday banning smokable hemp in Texas. Some business owners just told Richard Solomon it's stringent enough to shut them down.
You're looking for flour, it's all gone.
Customers walked in looking for what they've always bought.
All gone. Yesterday was the last day.
But found out in real time, it's gone.
Can't believe this is happening.
I know.
At Endo Dispensary and Wellness in Plano, owners Maddie and Jade are now having that same conversation.
It just happened very fast.
A new Texas law forced them to pull most of their products off the shelves.
Just looking at it right now, it's a little upsetting. It's been a rough morning.
It bans most smokable hemp products, like THC flower, pre-rolls, and many products that make up the bulk of their business. Yesterday, the two made $7,000 in sales. So far today, barely $50.
80% of our revenue. So our income was based on 85% of what just got banned. Yes.
So now they're being forced to pivot, not just with what they sell, but what their business even is. Instead of just cannabis products, they'll use the space for live music, events, and community gatherings. Anything to stay afloat.
It's just going to slow people down from continuing their business.
They're intoxicating products.
Supporters of the law, like Betsy Jones with Texans for Safe and Drug-Free Youth, says this closes a loophole that allowed intoxicating products to be sold with little oversight.
It's a billion-dollar industry, but the people who are profiting from this industry are the ones who should be paying for the costs.
No disposables, no wax.
And back at the shop, the impact is immediate. Customers walking in expecting one thing, leaving with nothing.
I'm sorry, guys.
Because having to turn away their customers...
Take care. Thank you, guys.
...is something they're still trying to get used to. In Plano, I'm Richard Solomon.
Tuesday was Cesar Chavez Day, but instead of the celebrations we would have expected a few weeks ago, the Greater Dallas Hispanic Chamber of Congress held a press conference demanding Cesar Chavez's name be stripped from the city. The once beloved civil rights icon is accused of sexually abusing women and children over several years. Multiple victims have come forward with evidence, including his United Farm Workers Union co-founder Dolores Huerta. The Greater Dallas Hispanic Chamber says changes need to be made now because staying silent means the pain of victims matters more than the comfort of the powerful.
We're asking that his name be removed from everything that has his name on it. Every space, every street and building that carries his name must now carry the name of someone else or something else, but that honors our community.
For years today, March 31st, was observed throughout the state as Cesar Chavez Day. Today was his birthday. Governor Abbott says the state will no longer observe it. He plans to remove it from state law. The co-founder of South Lake's Gateway Church has been officially released after serving 6 months in jail. Robert Morris pleaded guilty to 5 felony counts of child sexual abuse after Cindy Clemishire came forward to say Morris abused her when she was 12 years old. Tiffany Liu just spoke with Clemishire to get her reaction to the pastor's release.
6 months
Well, of course, I feel like it's too short.
is a fraction of the pain Cindy Clemishire has lived with
Back in 1982.
since she was 12 years old.
While it's not enough, I don't know that there could ever be enough time served for stealing a child's life.
Former Gateway Church pastor Robert Morris is out of prison after serving 6 months for 5 felony child sex abuse charges.
I think we've all been anticipating it.
He pleaded guilty in October and will remain on probation for 9.5 years.
It was the alternative to going through years of a trial, potentially.
It's time and energy Cindy now spends protecting survivors and reforming the law.
I do have to revisit it in a more open way.
In a statement from Morris, he asks for forgiveness and writes in part, "I want to speak directly to Cindy Clemishire and her family. What I did to Cindy decades ago was wrong. There is no other word for it, and there is no excuse for it. I am deeply sorry."
Would you ever speak directly to him again?
I probably would. There's always opportunity.
Cindy questions his sincerity.
And while he took responsibility when he pleaded guilty, there was no apology in person right then and there.
She says it was 4.5 years of physical abuse and to this day, decades of mental trauma.
How have you managed to maintain your faith through all this?
This might make me emotional, but I have to give credit to my dad and my mom for teaching us to trust in Jesus, not in a religion or a church or someone behind the pulpit.
Cindy Clemishire is taking her story beyond survival. I'm Tiffany Liu.
And those are your headlines from North Texas.